All right, this problem was sent to me, and it is a problem where they change the rules on you a little bit, and if you don't do what they say, then it can be kind of aggravating. It says blah 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 blah. F of t is equal to 2,000 e to the 0.06 t dollars. They say write the derivative, or they don't want to say derivative in this book for some reason. So write the rate of change function, or the derivative, for the value of the investment. And here's where they change the rules a little bit. They're telling you to rewrite this problem, and e to the 0.06, put that in parentheses and raise it to the t power, so you have a constant to a exponential. Okay, now if you remember, when you hold on, let me go back. If you remember from the other day, this is 3.2, right? 3.2. I gave you the rule. I snipped it out, and I think it's on the second page of the section. There it is. We'll snip it out again. Hopefully it won't be as small as it was. There we go. We'll pull that back up. I don't like it when y'all this quiet.
You feel better?
Makes me nervous. Huh?
You feel better?
Oh my gosh, I went to Anderson campus yesterday and taught my other class, and I didn't even record the class. Everything, the board wouldn't work, nothing worked. So I just told the class to leave. I just got irritated. There's the so let's see what we do here. We take this function. Let's see if it works today. I do too. Well,
This is not. There you go.
yeah, it's on there. So that means we're going to be able to.
Why does it drop?
But I don't know why it's doing this.
It's like 5%.
I think it's
No.
Yeah, I think it's not working.
Do you have another pin?
Nope.
You want to steal other pins?
Something is wrong with this thing.
There you go.
Now I can write, but I can't erase. And now it's going crazy.
It's like a masterpiece. I didn't realize your honors was color.
Well, at least that works. The erase works, you know, when you use the mouse. How would y'all deal with something like this? Quit? I swear, y'all suck. Cancel class, give you all A's. And then what will happen next semester when you go to the second calculus class? No, this is what will happen. Y'all will say, Hubert didn't teach us anything. And then I get a phone call.
I'll say I forgot it over the summer.
I'm a little bit concerned. That's what I hate to get a phone call when people say that. You're going to find out when you get in the real world, when you hear the word concerned, that's really not a good word.
It's 'cause I think it-
I'm really concerned. So, you're going to rewrite this as f of t is equal to 2,000 e to the 0.06 raised to the t power. Okay, now you've got a constant raised to the exponential, which that's what this is right here. So we need to rewrite it. B is e to the 0.06. So that's going to be f prime of t is equal to, and I'm just going to leave that 2,000 alone. I'm going to work with this right here. So that's going to be 2,000 times, and then we're going to say natural log of e to the 0.06 minus, or times, times, and that's b to the what? B to the x. Well, what is b to the x? B to the x is this function right here. So that's going to be e, or natural, or e to the point. That is b to the x, right?
Yeah.
Can't read that blame thing. Is e to the 0.06 t. Yeah. Or they're saying it's e to the 0.06. Which is, yeah, it's going to be that. Because you can take e to the 0.06 and make that a constant. Let's go ahead and see what e to the 0.06 is. Pull up our handy dandy, whatever it's called, calculator.
I call it quantity.
And e, second function, where is e? It's down here somewhere. To the 0.06, close, enter, 1.06. So we can rewrite this wherever it went to. Just change this to 1.06, and that's going to be equal to 2,000 times natural log 1.06 ... times 1.06 ... to the t power. That should be what they got. So the problem is not the math. The problem is reading what they give you. Okay? And I don't mean that in a smart alecky way. What I mean is, well, I teach a probability and statistics course. And the probability and statistics, the math in that class is very elementary. But why do people make a bad grade? Because they have to actually read a lot into the questions, and they have to think a lot into the questions. Like, let me give you an example. What's the probability of picking a king out of a deck of cards? Well, the math behind that is real simple. It's just fractions. But you got to know what? How many cards in a deck of cards? And you got to know what? How many kings? So that's why you have to think. So in this problem, it's not the calculus and it's not the algebra. It's reading the directions. Okay? So, and then of course, what do you do with f prime of 11? Will you please stop? Plug it in. Yeah, one more and you're out. You plug it, f prime of 11 into this,
into the T.
right there. And it should give you that number right there. Does that help? Capiche? Okay. Y'all don't look too happy.
We're just not happy because he's praying.
Oh, is that it? Well, y'all got mean looks on y'all's faces, and it really makes me wonder what's going through y'all's brains. All right. Now, I want to go over what the first section of this new unit, and I want you to just do some thinking. As I told you before, the first and second derivative gives us many things. In this case, the first derivative gives us the rate at something, and I'm going to go into what just happened. Okay. I'm going to go into this a little bit, and then we'll talk about the second derivative next week. Here's a problem I just pulled out of the book. All right. Here's the function, 5.17 t squared minus 28.7 t plus 195. Take the derivative of that right quick. And I also want you to sketch it out. And you can sketch it out using your calculator. You don't have to sketch it out by hand, but just go ahead and sketch it in your notes. Not bad at all. Don't think too hard. What was that?
Should we simplify this
What?
when we divide it? Do you want us to divide it because it's going to give us a more decimal? Or do you
Yeah,
want to
because
give us-
I want to sketch it. I want you to sketch it on your graph right
Okay.
there. So you need to put it in your calculator.
You want page 6 was in the book?
It's in that first section. 5 point, what chapter?
No idea.
4? No, the last unit was 4, right? Yeah, I switched it, yeah.
Anything changed
4.1, I think.
or
Now, I'm going to explain to you, I've explained to you the whole semester what the first derivative gives you. It gives you the slope. But what does it give you in terms of business? Well, if you take your function and just take the function and plug in 8, like you can produce 8 whatevers at $296. All right? Then what does the function tell you? The function tells you 9, it takes up to, or 8.5, it takes up to 323 or whatever. What's the difference between the slope and what's the difference between the function? Well, the function gives you a cumulative cost, all right, where the rate of change gives you an up to the minute or up to the second change. So what does that mean? If it takes $296 to make 8 whatevers, all right, then how much more does it take you to make 9? All right. Now, if you just plug in 9 in the function, it's going to tell you how much it takes to make up to 9. But if you plug 9 into the function of the slope, it tells you how much more. Okay? And I don't know if that makes sense to you. It's a cumulative versus a separate. All right? So, for example.
So could you plug in 9 and subtract it, and you get the same?
No. See, that's the point about calculus. You take the derivative. Say if you take 8 and you get 296, that's the function. Then you take the derivative, which would be 2 times 5.17. I hope you all did it. 5.17 t minus 28.7. No yawning in class, please. 28.7. That's the derivative. So what do you get? I was wondering why you were taking the antiderivative.
10.34.
You want to tell me to shut up? 10 point what?
34.
10.34. I'm not picking on you, but that's very common. People come out of an antiderivative section, they'll take the antiderivative when they're supposed to be taking the derivative. So that's, I've done it. Yeah, I've done it on the board before. I mean, it's very common. 28.7. Now, if you graph this, you're going to get this black line right here. So take 9 and plug into the original equation. Somebody do that right quick. If you take 9 and plug it into the original equation, what do you get?
355.47.
355. Good. All right, now take 9 and plug it into this function. What do you get? So how much does it cost to make that 9th one? $64. Well, what's the 355? Well, it takes $355 to make up to 9 widgets. That's what the first derivative tells us. Okay? I'm sorry, what?
Just an additional unit.
Exactly. And you can do that up to, you can probably do it up to 9 right here, but that's about it. And then you have to get it up here, and at any point, it'll tell you how much it takes, an additional unit. So if you wanted to do 10, plug in 10, see what you get.
$4.25.
That's the function. All right, now plug 10 into the,
74.7.
So it costs you $74 more instead of $64 more. See?
Is this marginal cost?
We're going to get into marginal cost in just a second.
Is the first one like the total cost and the second one's cost per unit?
Not yet. Well, yes. In other words, the function gives you up to. So if I made 8 widgets, it's telling me how much it's telling me to make 8 widgets. It's going to cost me $296 to make 8 widgets. If I wanted to make 9 widgets, it'll cost me another $64. If I want to make 10 widgets, it's going to cost me another $74. Now, if you somebody plug in 10 into the original function, what'd you say you got?
425.
425. That's up to 10. And that's where you get into the bulk versus individual. So that's basically what you're talking about, bulk versus individual. Okay. Now the second derivative tells us whether a function is concave up or concave down, and then it tells us where the extreme highest point is and the extreme lowest point. So we're going to get into that next week. But right now I want to do one more of these. And this will help you out just a little bit. What I'm trying to do now in the last unit is I'm trying to put more of a business emphasis on the last unit, because that's where you've taken the calculus and the business and putting it together in unit 3 or unit 4, whatever unit it is. Okay, so let's do this problem, and I'm just going to type it in because since I can't write with the pen, I'll do it this way. A firm estimates its total cost function as C of X. Oh, that's screwed up. There we go. And I'm going to put C of X is equal to X to the third minus 6X squared plus 13X plus 15. And revenue as R of X you'll have to excuse my typing, I suck. Is equal to 28X. Find the value of X that maximizes daily profit. Find the value of X that maximizes daily profit. Okay, so go ahead and do that. Think about what revenue is and think about what cost does, and tell me what the revenue, the profit function will look like. What is profit? I'm sorry, what?
Revenue minus cost.
Okay. So P of X is equal to 28 minus X, 28X minus X cubed minus 6X squared plus 13X plus 15. And sketch that function. And minus 13x plus 28x is what?
15.
15x. Okay, you got a function and you really worried about it in the what quadrant? First quadrant. Why? Because in business, that's all you want to focus on is first quadrant. Because why? That's your profit. That's where the profit is, okay? And also, you need to get used of doing this. You need to get used of taking the revenue minus what? Revenue minus cost, because that's what's called the profit. Okay? I'm sorry, what? I haven't taken the derivative yet. Yeah, I'm just subtracting. Now, when you graph that function, excuse me, clear, y is equal to negative x cubed plus 6x squared plus 15x minus 15. And you're going to get a saddle pretty much. It's all screwed up, but let's try zoom 0. Doesn't look too good. And do zoom. I'm going to do a zoom window. And I only care about the first quadrant, so. Just have a day when just. I think this week is just pretty much. I'll have to blow it up a little bit more to get this area right in here. So just give me a second. And you can do this with the window also, but I'm just going to go in here and blow it up a little bit more. I know, because you're talking about 311 at the top left-hand corner. Really? Looks like the max is going to be around 5 or 6. There we go. But you can't really tell where it is. So, go ahead and take the derivative of that function. I'm showing you what else the derivative will tell you. The derivative will tell you when you set equal to 0, your highest function.
Oh,
Yes.
on your y equals, I didn't get anywhere near that on my graph.
Yeah, this is what I got.
Yeah.
I got the same thing that he has.
Go to y equals and see what you.
Or did I punch something in wrong? Negative x cubed plus 6x squared plus 15x minus 15.
You got it.
What's y'all's window say? Give me y'all's window.
I put mine on 0, 20, 0,
Okay,
120.
let's do that then. 0, 20, and what? 0, 20?
120.
0 to 120?
Yeah.
Well, that's good with me. Y'all want to show me up, that's fine.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Okay? Now, you can find this point by hand, or you can trace it. Find the height, or second, calculate, and find the maximum, because it's concave down. And give it a left bound and a right bound, and guess, and all that stuff. I can't even see my X. Where'd it go? I'll get there in a second. There it is. So there's my left bound. There's my right bound. It just speeds up the process. That's what it does. And there's your maximum. Okay? But how can you find it if you don't have a calculator or you don't have it graphed on them? Then you take the derivative of this guy and then you set it equal to 0. So do that. My son had a little wreck on his four-wheeler yesterday. He decided he could take a curve a little bit faster than he was supposed to.
There you go.
And he hit a rock and he went airborne and he got up, turned it back over, got on it, kept on going. You should have seen him though. He was airborne at least 4 or 5 feet.
My dad hauls rocks on a dump truck.
Yeah.
He brought it unloaded one time when I was little. I decided I wanted to go for a big jump.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
Well, see, we've got a curve that goes through our farm, and people don't think that they're cars. So I've put rocks, big rocks, and big logs up because the county won't put a guardrail right there, and they keep running into our fences. So I've put rocks, and so I'm glad he didn't hit the big logs because they're about 3 foot, 4 foot high, and it would have tore up something. But he hit one of those rocks, and one of those rocks is about big as 3 or 4 of these desks put together, and it's a kind of a slanted rock, and it he hit that thing perfect. I wish I had a video. He had it on his helmet.
One of our buddies, we were in Ireland, decided to try to take one of the turns in the field too fast.
Went through the,
Black thorn bush, went straight through it.
oh gosh.
And he comes back walking up to us, he just looks at us smiling, he's like, guys, I crashed. We have a video of us sitting there for 20 minutes like pulling thorns out of him.
That's awful.
You know you're airborne.
I wish I had the video though.
You're airborne too long and you have time to think about it.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah. That's what he was. I bet he went about 3 or 4 feet in the air, but he went probably 20, 25 feet. We could actually do a parabolic function about that and find his rate of change. Anyway, I can't get up there and do that. So the function is negative 3x squared plus 12x plus 15. That's P prime of x. Now that will tell us, again, it will tell us how much it will cost to make another, or we can set it equal to 0. Now this is the derivative set equal to 0. Because the function set equal to 0 will give us what? X-intercept, Hubert. That's right. The derivative set equal to 0 will give us the highest and the highest points. Okay? So, negative 3x squared. So you need to write that down. It not only will give you the rate of change or the slope at any point on the line, but if you set it equal to 0, it'll give you your extreme highest or lowest point. So 3x squared plus 12x plus 15 is equal to 0. I solve that. You can use complete and the square because that's what I'm going to use. Let me try this and maybe... That's right. Let's just see what happens. 3x squared plus 12x plus 15. No, that ain't gonna work. It's acting like it's not calibrated. Well, let's try that next. I talked to Dr. Marshall yesterday, and he said that most of his students are probably going to be passing. So, talking about a big class next semester. I don't know if they'll split it into two or not.
I really do. Businesses have. I'll be drinking too for the next time.
I don't think you will, because as long as you know your derivatives and your antiderivatives,
Oh, I have. I was just kidding.
you'll be good to go.
I'm just being normal.
No, all of you are going to fail, probably,
That's what I'm saying. I'm so pessimistic about 2:30.
and live in a ditch. Oh no, do we have lift off? Let's see if we do. No. I have officially given up.
I can't take it anymore.
Last time I gave up, they fixed it, so I'm officially giving up. I'm officially giving up. Maybe they'll fix it for next week. All right, somebody tell me what we got. F of x, f prime of x.
Negative 3x.
Thank you, Miss Bowers. I can always recount on Miss Bowers. Negative 3x squared
Plus 12x.
plus 12x
Plus 15.
plus 15 is equal to 0. Huh?
12x.
Thank you. Is equal to 0. And that's going to give us negative 3x squared plus 12x plus blank is equal to negative 15 plus blank. Negative 3 x squared minus 4x plus blank is equal to negative 15 plus negative 3 times blank. Half of 4 is 2. 2 squared is 4. So negative 3 times x squared minus 2 is equal to negative 15 minus 12 is negative what? Negative 27. Divide by negative 3. Divide by negative 3. X squared minus, wait a minute. Thank you. I don't know where I got that. I just decided to make it a new problem. I do that. X minus 2 quantity squared is equal to 9. And that's going to give us x minus 2 is equal to positive or negative what? 3. and x is equal to 3 plus 2 is 5. Negative 3 plus 2 is negative 1. And what do you do to the negative 1?
Cancel.
Why?
Because it's like we're not looking for it's 0 to infinity. Looking for
In the first quadrant. Because we like positives, and in business we're looking for the positive. And the negative will give us an unrealistic number because you can't make negative numbers. I mean negative widgets. So 5 is where you've got your extreme highest number. Now, at that point, if you wanted to find out the cost of, or it depends on the wording of the question. All right. This is asking about profit, and it's asking about your profit is highest at 5. Okay. Then it starts to go back down. Now you could be talking about making submarines. I don't know what you're talking about. But the whole point is the derivative can tell you the slope at any point, but it can also tell you the highest or lowest. Now, the second derivative will tell you if it's concave up or concave down. Now, you put the second derivative with the first derivative, they give you all kinds of stuff. I mean, a whole list of stuff I've got in my notes. We're going to go over next week. The second derivative will give you about 4, 5, 6 things. And you put it with the first derivative, you got 7 or 8 things that you can come up with. Again, this calculus class is all about interpreting the graph and doing the first and second derivative and the first the antiderivative. Okay, that's what it is. So let's do another one.
not to take your attention away, but guess what happened in the quarter field?
About what?
I'm sorry, this is really off topic, but I think this is relevant to you.
Relevant to me.
They said that concealed weapons,
Oh yeah,
concealed carry is not protected by Second Amendment.
that's in San Diego.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you want to get a gun in San Diego, you can't. Because this self-defense is not a requirement for concealed weapons permit. We have a bunch of wussies. 12.92.
Hockey games.
T to the third. What does the Secret Service carry? Batons?
Most of those aren't concealed.
Huh?
Most of their weapons are concealed.
They just carry it, right? That's the whole point.
They know they're badass.
Huh? Yeah, exactly. 3. I can't talk and write gum at the same time. Plus 185.45 t squared. Minus 729.35 t. Plus 10038.57. Now let me ask y'all a question. Why do you see all these big numbers? Is it because they want you to work hard, or is it because this is more practical application? It's more practical application. Your business type questions are going to have the decimals and going to have the BA numbers, okay? Because that's where you get the most practical applications. Where in engineering calculus, you don't get the practical applications that much until later in statics and dynamics, where you study stress and all that stuff. So you don't get to that. So in business, you get it a whole lot earlier. So anyway, I'll shut up. I'm rambling, chasing rabbits. Appeals court. Yeah, I went out and bought 3 guns this last year just because I'm really worried about the Second Amendment. Really worried about it. Bought 2 45s and a 9mm. Dang old. Castor Troy, dang old gold plated.
It's gold plated.
No, I'm kidding.
I was about to say, hold on, wait.
I'm kidding.
I got
They're
a
black.
I got a chrome plated.
I'm not gonna get a chrome plated sissy pistol. That's what Tommy Lee Jones
No,
called it
I bought
in
it from my grandma.
not fugitive. What was it? U.S. Marshals. Get rid of that nickel plated sissy pistol. Get you a Glock.
It's here. It's a 380. But one of my grandmas passed away. She had it.
380 and 9 mil, pretty much the same thing.
Close. Really
Very
close.
close.
Payload really is the only difference. What you got in the shell.
I'm partial to the 45.
Yeah. My dad took his concealed weapons class at Clemson and got outshot.
Only thing I don't like about the concealed weapons class is they hold it on Saturday, and I'm farm on Saturday. I need to get mine. Dang old carry, dang old truck and tech.
My dad took his at Clemson, and he got outshot by about 5 girls, and most of their guns were pink. And I was like,
Women make the best shooters in the Marine Corps. You know why? Try to tell a guy how to shoot. Try to tell any guy how to shoot. I know how to shoot. I've been shooting since I was 5 years old. But a woman will listen to what? Directions. A woman makes a whole lot better sniper than a man does. They prove that in the Marine Corps. WMs shoot a whole lot better than male Marines. Now, this one's going to be kind of yucky, but use your calculator. That's what it's for, unless you're Rain Man.
Dad, I'm CFBT for personnel. You can't use a calculator unless it's prescribed.
And what?
prescribed.
The math test for Clemson.
Oh.
Prescribed by the doctor.
It's by doctor.
Now, after you do it, I want you to find f of 2 and f prime of 2. This is kind of like the first problem we did a while ago. And sketch the graph a little bit so on your note so you can see what it looks like. Mm-hmm. This formula is thousands of employees give the number 20 to 24-year-old time employees over a 6-year period. I don't understand the question, but this book sucks. So if I told y'all this book sucks.
Yes.
Are we supposed to get a negative number for f prime of 2?
I haven't done it, but I'll check it. I mean, I don't know. I haven't done it yet.
Oh, that's what you're saying. Now you're supposed to be positive.
There's probably going to be a negative slope for f prime of 2 because you're getting a slope. And look at the graph. The graph will tell you if you're right or not. And find the lowest point and the highest point. And if you can do all that, then I'm successful today. I'm a winner. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's half the class that's not here today. I should give y'all a bonus.
You should.
Matter of fact, you should tell them that we already did the in-class test and let them do it next time. That's what you should do. I'm down with that.
The derivative is negative.
So somebody tell me what f of 2 is.
92.18.31.
92.18, so 92 employees.
No, 92.18.
92.18. Okay, 9,200 employees, 9220. And then what is F prime of 2?
I got a negative.
Okay,
I got
well, I'm going to tell you what that means. What is it?
negative 142.6.
Is this how many you lose?
That's how many you lose at that point. In other words, if you was to, and plug in F prime of 3 at 3 years.
Okay, so you gain, that's how many employees are.
That's how many you're losing.
Okay.
So what about 3 years? I want to know as a department head how many employees I'm going to lose after 3 years.
9170.
9170. Uh-oh. Is it negative?
No, it's positive.
Okay, so it starts to pick up. 9170.
Is that F prime of 3?
Oh, no, I'm sorry, that's, okay, I'm probably.
It should be negative.
I got 34.
Negative?
I thought you were asking for.
Okay, then
Sorry.
it must start to pick up.
I mean,
No,
I
it's
could be
34.
wrong.
Let me look. Yeah, it starts to pick up. Look at your graph. Positive 34.
It goes down and then back up.
34. What?
0.5.
Okay. 35 employees. So it looks like after the 3rd year, I'm going to start picking up employees. And at the end of 2 years, I'm going to be losing employees. So let's find our highest and lowest point.
And we're only worried about from 0 to infinity, right? On the effects.
Yeah. Negative. God, this would be so much easier if I could write with a pen. What is it? What does the F prime of X come out to be? So I can just go ahead and do it.
Negative 38.76.
Negative 38.76
.76
T squared.
plus 370.90
370.90 T minus, undo the last one, 729.35. Okay, now we set that equal to 0. Negative 38.76 T plus 370.90 T plus blank is equal to 729.35.
Well, I have to do the T squared.
I just left it off. I just decided to take another derivative. Thank you. It's a whole lot easier when you're writing with a pen. This sucks. I'm telling y'all, you don't know how much I'm sacrificing up here writing with a mouse. This really sucks.
Are you supposed to get a decimal for that? Obviously.
For what?
For the max?
You can, because anywhere on that, look on the graph, anywhere on that graph could be the max. It doesn't have to be a whole number. So this is going to factor out a negative 38.76. So I need y'all to help me out here. Somebody divide that out. That's going to be T squared minus, somebody give me 370.90 divided by negative 38.6. It's going to be negative.
say 9.61.
9.61 plus blank equals, I'm just gonna, 729.25 plus,
It's 3.5.
hold on,
It's a 3-5.
I just had a brain bubble, negative 38.76 times blank. 0.76 times blank. I'm sorry, this is screwed up. Half of 9.61 is,
4.805.
and multiply the, square that please. What does it come out to be? I'm sorry, what?
23.08.
23.08 and 23.08. So that's going to be negative 38.76 t minus, what's 23.08? Take the square root of it.
23.08.
Yeah.
4.8.
I'm sorry, what?
4.8.
All right, 4.8. I'm not writing all the decimals out, so I'm just rounding. Squared is equal to, I need somebody to take 729.25 minus whatever all that other goopity-gawk is.
Negative 165.23.
Negative, the final answer is? Negative 165 point what?
23.
All right, now divide that by negative 38.76. And that's going to give us t minus 4.8 squared is equal to what?
4.26.
4.26. Let's take the square root of that. T minus 4.8 is equal to what? Positive or negative 2 something.
2.06.
2.06. And now take 2.6 plus 4.8, that's going to be 6.68. And negative 2.06 plus 4.8 is what?
Negative.
No, it's not negative. It's going to be positive what? I'm sorry, what?
2.74.
2.74. So at 6 years, 7 years, 6.68, you're going to have either the highest or lowest, and 2.74. Well, what did we decide at 2? It's going down, right? And at 3, so what can you tell me about 2.74? Enunciate and volume. I heard,
Probably your list.
thank you. Probably your lowest. That's what she said. She said probably your lowest. Probably your lowest. Kind of do like Hillary does. Start out real high and then come down low. Have y'all ever noticed that about her speeches? That's why they're so annoying. That's why they annoy people. It's because she starts out real high. We're going to be the President of the United States. And it's annoying people. Anyway, that is your lowest point. So if that's your lowest point, then what do you think this one is? So it's 6.68 years. Is that what you came out with?
I got 4.78.
What, the highest or the lowest?
The bad.
All right. Go to your graph. What'd
My
you
math
get?
is 6.8.
Go to your graph.
That's 6.68.
Okay. Miss Bowers, you made a mistake.
I might have done it
It's
too wide.
6.86.
You did what?
I might have calculated it like too wide when I did the regions, I guess.
Okay. Well, check your graph and go to second, calculate, and go to height, maximize, and go to the top.
You would have had it perfect if you'd have put the 8 before the 6 because it's close to
It's 6.86.
Yeah.
I transposed
About
it.
4.78.
Now, did you graph this? Did you graph the derivative? Not the derivative. You can't graph the derivative. Go graph the function. Did you graph this?
I did the derivative.
Okay, graph the function. The function is where you find the highest or lowest.
Wait, what'd you say you got?
She graphed the derivative. You remember when I told you that some functions, the derivative will give you different things? Well, on a quadratic, it's going to give you, but on some other things, it's going to give you the highest or lowest point. So, did you get it to come out?
It's still calculating, and I'm trying to say.
Okay, well, just give it a minute. I think you'll come out with the same answer. If not, then you're a failure. You made a mistake. Okay, so today's class, we've learned that when you take the first derivative, you can find the rate of change at that point. And you can find added widgets or whatever, how much it costs to do each widget versus up to that point. And that's what the difference between algebra and calculus is. If you were taking college calculus, if you were taking calculus for engineering, instead of me applying this to widgets, I would be applying it to a particle in space. And a particle in space traveling, what's the velocity at this point? What's the velocity at this point? Centrifugal force dictates that the higher you get with a bucket, that's the highest point, that is the most centrifugal force, that is, it's going the fastest at a certain point. You got to think of it as a bucket with water in it. Okay, so that's the different things. And once you find the tangent of that point, you can find the second, which is called the normal vector. Now that is the engineering application. In this application, you're going to be studying the highest and lowest point, concave up, concave down, and what does it cost to make another widget, or another 1,000 widgets, or another 10,000 widgets. Okay? So that's what we're doing today. Now, next week, we're going to study nothing but the second derivative and what it gives us, and the concave up and the concave down, and it's called second derivative testing, where we go through and we plug in points and find if it's positive or negative. It's kind of, up until now, you've kind of studied the easy parts of calculus. Next week, the second derivative is not hard, but what it tells you, you have to think a little bit. So that's why I'm saving the whole week for second derivative. Your homework tonight is to get caught up. You shouldn't have anything left after this weekend except next week. That's it. That's what you should be doing. Yes?
What about the Unit 5 test? Is this with Unit 5 or is this something different?
Yeah, this is going to be Unit 5.
Okay, so we shouldn't take that
So
test
don't do
yet.
the Unit 5 stuff yet.
Yeah, have I put Unit 5 up?
You
Yeah.
put Unit 5 test up.
Oh, you
And
meant
homework
you
for it.
switched
Everything
from-
up.
You put, I think.
I haven't
Unit
even
5
made a Unit 5 test.
I think you thought the last unit was Unit 5 that we did.
I called it Unit 4.
Yeah.
Unit 4, the I comes before the V. That's Unit 4.
But you have a test on there. What is that? This?
Or is you
have
gonna-
Unit
are you gonna
4
get another
test,
time?
you have the Unit 5 homework.
Yeah.
Oh, it's supposed to be Unit 5. I put Unit 4. I'm sorry. Just go ahead and take the test. I'll change it. But it's Unit 5.
Okay, so
That's-
Well, why would we do the test if you're going over it next week?
No, that's... Hold on. Let me check. Why you got to be so difficult? You just like her. Oh. Let me look. I'm sorry if I confused you. I need to call it.
we have 5.
All right. What is chapter 5?
Antiderivatives.
Okay. Isn't that Unit 5?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So I need to change this to Unit 5.
Yes.
Okay,
So what
I'm-
we're going over right now is that Unit 4?
Yes, we're going over Unit 4.
Okay.
Okay, so I need to change this to Unit 5. Okay, go ahead and take the test. It's Unit 5. What?
It's fine. I'm not gonna take it. Cause you're going over most of that stuff next week.
No, that's unit 4.
That's
No, you said anti-derivatives all week next week. Unit 5 is
Oh,
anti-derivatives.
second derivatives. Second derivatives is what I'm going over next week.
Okay.
Second derivatives. Y'all two are gonna fail. All right, I will change this to unit 5. Do you want me to change it to anti-derivatives? Would that be better? Okay, next week, we will go over second derivatives, which is chapter 4.
Are we we're gonna have like a standard review for the final?
You don't need a review. All you need to do is go over your old test, because I pick all the problems off your old test. That's what, to me, a final exam should be. The last test will be due on the last day of exams. So you'll have next weekend and 3 days to do the last test and the final exam. Y'all got to come in here and take an impassable exam, 5 questions.
We're still taking that test on Monday.
Yeah, we got to, because I got to make y'all's grade go down. Give you an impassable test. I will change this after class. Let me go ahead and shut this off.
According to the website, class average is like 47 now.
It really is.
It's okay.